wrapping up shop on the lineup with our NFC playoff picture alongside Joel Palachik and Ryan Croak. I'm Jake Bowen. Joel, before we get to our NFC Championship preview, we have to start with a couple of NFC Divisional games, and the first being a domination of the 49ers by the Seahawks, 41-6. Your instant reactions.
Yeah, you said domination. That is the instant reaction. I mean, just the kickoff, the Seahawks scored enough to win. It was 41-6. I mean, it was pure domination. And I think the Seahawks, if I can jump ahead to this matchup with the Rams, the Seahawks can afford to make mistakes. You look at the combined 2 games against the Rams earlier in the year, 7 turnovers for the Seahawks and only 1 for the Rams. You have a 2-point loss earlier in the season for the Seahawks, and then you have a 1-point win later in the season. They can afford to make mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, you have proof of concept that Seattle can be a Super Bowl winning team, and the key to their success is avoid putting Sam Darnold in a spot where he has to make big plays, or else you're going to be in a position to lose the game. Because that's what they've been. That's how they've been all year. They've blown out bad teams, and they've had success in some big spots. Especially, I take you back to that last time these two teams met in Seattle, and it was a crazy game. Sam Darnold wasn't spectacular by any means. In fact, he was pretty terrible for the beginning of the game, and the team just rallied, and they combined with quality play from Sam Darnold, nothing spectacular. They found a way to win. That's their path to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Sam Darnold is going to win you this game. I think he could definitely make plays, but he's not going to be the reason why Seattle, if they advance to the Super Bowl and even win the Super Bowl, is going to be that reason. Had an oblique injury coming into this game, so didn't know how he could throw the football. Only 120 yards and a touchdown, but he really didn't need to do much, as you said, Joel, that touchdown from the get-go. And the defense for Seattle also really played well. They're really a wagon for Seattle.
Yeah, and I think you've said this before. You might have as well. Sam Darnold does not elevate the Seahawks at all. The Seahawks elevate Sam Darnold.
Yep. Absolutely.
That's how it is.
100%. I think that what we've seen from the Seattle team all year, they're a very complete roster. And I think it's a very interesting litmus test for Seattle because we hear all the time about quarterbacks. I think of the Kirk Cousins archetype in Minnesota, a guy who was putting up big numbers but never really was a guy to make a big-time play in a big-time spot. Sam Darnold fits that same archetype, and yet they're 2 games away from a Super Bowl. So if Sam Darnold and the Seahawks win the Super Bowl, I think we see a very interesting ripple effect in the NFL for years to come because it's proof of concept that, again, you can win with a guy who's maybe not a game-changing talent at quarterback, which we really haven't seen in quite some time.
Right. There's always the question. It's like, who are you taking day one if you got to start a team over? Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. You might take, a Jackson Smith and Jigba type of player.
Okay,
you might go for something like that. You might.
JSN doesn't sniff.
Not him, but I'm saying
a
skill position.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks are just so talented from top to bottom.
That's fair.
Every position that defense is unbelievable. There's not a hole on that roster. The only one that exists potentially is quarterback. And they've done enough where Darnold hasn't had to play in any big spots.
Well, on that note of the defense, Seattle didn't have a player over 7 sacks this year, only 2 players over 4 interceptions. So there's not really one shining star for the defense. It's one complete unit playing together. And just to mention that Indiana, in our first segment, playing as a team, it's a team game. Yes, you have individual performers that might help you elevate your team success, but at the end of the day, you need 11 guys.
I agree. We'll see what happens.
Let's go to the other NFC divisional game, the Bears and the Rams, and Los Angeles taking this one in overtime, 20-17, Ryan.
Yeah, what a game, and what a season for Chicago. I know they ended up coming up short, but there's nothing to feel about the Bears if you're a Chicago fan other than ecstatic. I mean, Caleb Williams, talk about a year 2 leap under Ben Johnson. This team's going to be a force for years to come. Their defense is not good at all, and they held the MVP favorite, begrudgingly the MVP favorite in my eyes, to 20 points. And I also, speaking of that MVP favorite, funny strategy by the Rams to start running the ball inside the 5-yard line when you're only 3 yards away from the goal line, instead of just throwing passes outside to Puka Nacua every time. Nice strategy, Sean McVay. Very interesting change of tactics there. Wonder if that had any impact on Stafford's touchdown total. But anyway, I digress. That being said, Chicago's defense was the reason they were in this game. I mean, Caleb Williams was not Not perfect by any stretch. That unbelievable throw at the end of the fourth quarter to tie it up and send it to OT.
Yep.
Full Caleb Williams experience for Chicago.
Threw it up to like a Komet that had a lot of space. Yeah.
Bad coverage.
Sure.
Bad Rams coverage.
Overlooked.
You get the full Caleb experience.
Yeah.
Unbelievable fourth down completion to tie the game, and then a game-losing interception in overtime.
There you go.
Full Caleb Williams experience.
There you go. But DJ Moore, not good.
No,
not a good look
it's
on
not,
that
I'm
route
not
for
pinning
him.
it all on Caleb, but still.
Right.
Yeah, I think for the Rams, I don't get this hate on Matthew Stafford. He's a great quarterback.
Most 1-yard touchdown passes of any quarterback in NFL history, by the way.
Again,
Just want you to, I'm just stating the facts.
He's not trying to be. He's 37. He's not trying to put up insane video game numbers. He just wants to win games. He wants to win his second Super Bowl.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think he
talk
cares.
about
I really
talk
don't-
about trying to win games. Drake May doesn't play for half the quarters, but we're not talking MVP debate. Let's keep it focused here.
All right, well, let's flip over to the NFC Championship. We'll preview it a little bit. These two teams have seen each other before, the Seahawks and the Rams in Seattle. And Joel, I expect this game to be cinema. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I expect an all-time classic here. Anything less is a disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean, you had the first game, 2-point differential. The second game, 1-point differential. This should be an absolutely incredible game. And I think it comes down to how clean the Seahawks are with the football. I really think it does. If they turn the ball over 4 or more times, you're probably going to see a loss. If they keep it at 3, I got the Seahawks.
I'm going to disagree with you, gentlemen. I think this game's going to be a Rams win, and I don't think it's going to be all that great of a game.
I hope you're wrong.
I don't trust Sam Darnold. I'm happy to fall on that sword if Sam Darnold plays a game of his life. I don't think LA and Sean McVay, they haven't played their best football in these playoffs, but they know how to win games. They know how to put the other quarterback in an uncomfortable position, even if their defense has been exceptional as of late. I think this is a team that's going to find a way soon. Sam Darnold's not going this game without being in a big spot. And in the NFC Championship game, easily the biggest game he's ever played, I don't trust him.
You think the lights are too bright from the beginning just with the stage?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting Darnold to go out there and be absolutely unplayable. I just think
he could
Matthew Stafford versus Sam Darnold, the offense of the Rams, I like the offense. The offense is about a wash, in my opinion, if not give the advantage to LA simply because of the quarterback. And Seattle's defense, LA's carved them up. LA carved them up in that game in Seattle earlier in the year.
Right.
Yeah, I want to jump in because the Seahawks, the home field is huge here. Seattle's only lost one time at Lumen Field, and that was 2020 COVID. So the 12th man is a huge factor for the Seahawks. I think the Rams are going to win because of Sam Darnold. I think he's going to make a mistake. He's make not one mistake, multiple mistakes in this game. In both games against the Rams, 6 interceptions. Yeah. Just 14 all year. On the other side, Stafford, 5 touchdowns, no turnovers against the Seahawks defense. And in that thrilling overtime game, although the Seahawks did win off that 2-point conversion, LA was up 16 points, did choke that lead. But I think this time they go up 16 and then finish the job.
And you look at the things that went Seattle's way in that game. That unbelievable chance 2-point conversion that Charbonnet had, seemed because it was barely a backwards pass. That changes the entire game. And as you mentioned, the Rams still scored a touchdown in overtime. Seattle's defense, LA knows how to beat them. They know how to play well at Lumen Field. I don't think they're scared of that environment. They just played in a 0-degree wind chill game in Chicago and did okay. I think that they're the more trustworthy team. I think that in the big spot, I'm going with the Rams.
All right, well, that is all the time we have on our first show back of the lineup for the spring semester. But check us out next week for even more sports content. For one more time, alongside Joel Polachek and Ryan Croak, I'm Jake Bowen. Say goodnight from Syracuse.
Nice outro. That was nice.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that.